Hey everybody, we're going to be talking about the basics of the unified Nergal. So if you don't know, the unified Nergal is a one-stop shop for doing all of your anomic missions, so burners, doing your team missions. So there's 9 missions in total that you can do. If you've got this Nergal, you don't have to change rigs. There is some slight changes in the fits, but those are all covered individually in the video. We're just going to talk about the basics for today. So first thing we're looking for is, what are the skills for the Nergal, and what do we need to get these missions done? So essentially, a lot of these missions are you need a high amount of tank to be able to survive, and you need to dish out a lot of damage. Most ships don't meet this requirement because you can fit them either for tank or for damage, but either you won't kill anything or you'll die before you can apply your damage. So the Nergal fits that need because you can put a lot of tank on it. So these are tanked usually to be able to do the missions indefinitely. And then where the damage comes in is the Nergal has a ramp up ability on its damage. So it takes a little while, but eventually the guns get the job done. So you don't have to have a ton of damage mods on there to do enough damage. You just have to be patient and wait a little bit. So that's essentially why the Nergal is a good choice. It's a relatively slow ship compared to the other ships out there, but that's that's one of its drawbacks, and that's fine. We just have to use prop mods sometimes to get them to go a little bit faster. So if we look into the skills required for this, so you're going to want assault frigates to 5, and that's because it's going to increase your maximum range of your weapon, and it's going to boost the amount of damage that you do, so you're going to finish the mission faster. In some cases, you may never do enough damage to complete the mission, so definitely recommend getting that to 5. I'm going to recommend most of the skills here be to 5. You can change that, but your mileage may vary. Can't guarantee you're going to get through the mission if you don't have these trained all the way up. So if assault frigates to 5, Precursor Frigate to 5, because you're going to get this armor bonus. That's going to be necessary to mitigate most of the damage, and it's going to also increase the damage, so again, finishing the mission faster. Jumping into gunnery skills. I'm in plans here, and I don't know that. Okay, skill category, here we go. So gunnery. So we're just going to want gunnery to 5 here. So that just increases the damage that you put out. Rapid firing. These are core gunnery skills. If you've already done any kind of turret stuff, you should have these up there already. Rapid fire is just going to mean that you're going to be shooting that much faster. Motion prediction. That's going to increase your tracking speed, so you're going to be hitting more often. So that should be to 5. You might be able to get away with less, but in most missions you're kind of just shooting straight, but some missions a bit of angle. So sharpshooting, you're going to want that to 5. So that's going to increase your optimal range, so you'll be able to hit, like a lot of these missions, you'll be right on the edge of your range. So definitely, your range is going to change if you change that, and your fit might not be viable, so you're going to want that. Surgical strike is the next one down here. So this is just going to give you a straight increase in damage, so you're going to want that. Controlled bursts. So if you're typically using, if you're mid-Mitar and you're using autocannons, maybe you don't have the skill yet, it's going to reduce your capacitor need for your weapons. You're going to need that because a lot of these fits are just barely cap stable, and if you're not reducing the capacitor need for your weapons, then you'll be in trouble. You could pair this one off with rapid firing, where if you shoot slower, then you don't need controlled bursts as much, so you won't need as much cap. But honestly, you're better off just shooting faster. You're going to ramp your damage faster. You're going to get the mission done faster. So again, recommend 5 for everything. And then getting into the specifics of this weapon, so you're going to want small precursor weapon. You want to train that to 5 because you're going to want at least 1 level of small disintegrator specialization. I have it to 5. That's probably a waste of time on my side. 1 is totally fine. It's just so that you can use the Tech 2 ammo. So yeah, this one here, 1. You're not going to get any benefit really from having anything else, as long as you're using the villas. Okay, so now we're going to go into armor skills and repair systems to 5. You're going to get more. You're going to get more health regen from having a higher repair amount. So yeah, definitely recommend that to 5. The compensation skills. So here you've got kinetic, explosive, thermal, and EM. I don't know 100% if you need all those, but I'm going to recommend that you get them to 4 anyway. It doesn't take too long. You don't need them to 5, so 4 is fine. I'm doing it with 4, so should be fine. Okay, switch over to navigation. So here, navigation 5. As I said, your ship is not fast, and for some of these ships, for some of these fits, you need to catch other ships. So you're going to want that to be at least to 5. And then acceleration control, you're going to want that to 5 as well. So acceleration control is going to give you a bit of a speed boost with afterburners and micro warp drives. High-speed maneuvering, you don't need that. I mean, you should probably have a few levels in it. There's one mission that you use a micro warp drive, but you don't. It's fine. It's not a cap stable mission anyway. You might get a little bit. Yeah, you should need it, so don't worry about that. Weapon upgrades is the next one, and I don't even know what category that is under. That's probably under. Yeah, it's under engineering, so I'll stick with engineering for a bit. Weapon upgrades. So yeah, here we're talking about some fitting skills. So this is going to reduce your weapons draw on your CPU. So that's good. And then advanced weapon upgrades. That's going to reduce your power grid needs for your weapons. So you might be able to fit without them. Some of these fits are very tight. So you could maybe avoid training some of these skills to 5, but then keep in mind that you might not be able to fit certain fits, and if you can't, then you're going to have to wait and train those up. So consider that. Capacitor system operation. This is going to make your capacitor recharge faster, which means that you have more cap available to you. Capacitor management is on here too, so that increases your overall capacitor, which means that you have more cap to spend, which is good. It's not just a buffer because your recharge time is dependent on how much cap you have, so it's actually doing basically the same job as the other one. It's just increasing the amount of cap you have per second to spend. CPU management, we saw that. Rigging is maybe the next thing. So you're going to want armor rigging. Probably to 4. It's not a really long skill to train. You could maybe get away with a lower level. Again, this just comes down to yeah, so what is, I'd have to double check what the drawback is on the rigs, but yeah, 4 is quick and probably the minimum you should have. And then lastly, you don't really use drones. Drones are a throwaway thing. Almost everyone should have drones to 5. Every ship basically can carry drones, so you should have drones 5. Drones 4 is fine. Mostly we're carrying drones just as a get out of jail free card. If we're stuck in a mission, we might be able to use drones to break free. So, you know, 3, 4, 5, all of it's fine. But, you know, anyone who's playing this game for a serious amount of time will have drones to 5 at least. It's kind of a core skill. So if we look at the Nergal here, I've stripped it down to kind of its core components. So the small auxiliary nano pump, if you look at this, it increases the ship's armor repair amount. So that's useful on all our missions. It just gives us more tank. As I said, the core mechanic here is that it's a tanky ship first, and it's a damage dealer second, and that damage just ramps. So what is the penalty for at the expense of power grid? So this thing will take more power grid the lower your armor rigging skill is. So if your fit's not fitting, it means your armor rigging skill is not high enough. So you know, you can try it without leveling up too much, but you might need to do it for certain missions. So that's that one. Everyone should be knowledgeable of what a CCC is. So this thing here just increases the ship's capacitor recharge rate. So generally useful for all our fits. We have a lot of active modules. The Vella's light endotropic disintegrator. We use this for every single mission. So right now, you know, the ship is stripped down, but these are components that we use almost every mission. This one is every mission. There's a rare chance that you might get a little bit more mileage if you use a Tech 2. But honestly, it's very edge case, and you would need to recheck all your ranges, make sure that your cap's stable because it takes more energy, and you would need your specialization skill in this weapon trained to 5, and the damage is minimal. I would be a candidate for using it right now. I'm not even going to bother looking into it, so I don't think you should either. These slots here, you're going to be putting some stuff on there. You're going to be putting webs. You're going to be putting batteries. You're going to be putting that kind of stuff. But then most of the time, you'll be putting a afterburner in there. So that's just to give you more speed, to be able to have range control. The webs, again, range control is good. One of the missions has a micro warp drive. That's fine. And then this is on every single fit. So this is your armor repair. You only need to buy one. It gives you a decent chunk of health. The ship gives you boost. This gives you boost. So realistically, it puts out a lot of tank, and then you'll just have a hardener. As you can see, like the base stats for armor tank on this ship is strong already. So yeah, the hardener is going to kick you up in that high percentile, and you'll be able to tank a lot in the ship. So that's pretty much it for the Nergal. So each of the following videos will tell you the details of how to run the mission. This is just to cover the kind of the skills and the strategy involved. Yeah.